How would getting rid of abortions have a positive effect on society? There is a link between crime and abortions. When abortion became legal, crime went down. I very much suggest everyone to read the chapter named, "Where Have All the Criminals Gone?" of Levitt's book, Freakonomics. It gives a good perspective on how abortions could have positive effects on some society's aspects. From the perspective of certain conservatives and proliferers, the upside is that baby murder is no longer happening, and infant lives will be saved. They believe from the moment a sperm fertilizes an egg, it's now a human child. I don't get why the other comments are missing that lol. Like yeah, it's not true. It's about as close to baby murder as not having sex in the first place. But that has always been their main argument. They think they're literally saving lives by banning abortion. 1. The threat of having a child or even dying in childbirth would keep women from behaving whorishly. 2. It is always good to stop murders, and abortion is murder. 3. It does not matter if a woman dies in childbirth because she either was a whore who is better off dead or a loving mother who'd want her child to live over her anyway. 4. A child is always more valuable than an adult, so their lives should be prioritized. These are no longer my opinions, but they were what I was taught, and what I believed when I was younger and pro-choice. My understanding of science and human biology is pathetic, and it was even worse when I was younger. I blindly believed my pastor when he said a fertilized egg is equivalent to a born human baby. I started changing my opinions in grad school when I started working with CPS, foster children, and foster parents. I have always cared about protecting children and always will. The most cruel thing you can do to a child is bring them into the world unloved and unwanted. Those children grow up into cruel adults who repeat this. Abortion will always be more kind and humane than this. If pro-birth people volunteered as CASA advocates, the majority of them would stop being pro-birth pretty damn soon. Realistically, banning abortion would not positively benefit society at all, but would actually create massive issues. It wouldn't. Throughout history, women have struggled to control their fertility. And the more restricted it is, and desperate they are, the more dangerous it is. Banning legal abortions just stops safe abortions. They've always happened, and they always will. It wouldn't. Abortion saves lives and improves society. The most basic argument hinges on the belief that the fetus is a developing human being. Allowing people to abort the fetus might benefit society and might benefit the mother, but it harms the child to be. If you believe that the fetus is not yet a human and therefore not eligible for human rights, then allowing abortion makes sense. If you believe the fetus is a child to be and therefore has human rights, then allowing abortion introduces a painful moral dilemma. How can we ignore the human rights of only one group without ourselves being monsters? That is why people are opposed to abortion. It wouldn't. Banning abortions demonstrably stresses social systems. I'm pro-choice, but I can see why pro-birthers think the way they do. 1. It stops the murder of babies. Whether you consider it murdering babies or not, it's terminating a clump of cells. But bottom line, it stops that point too. People will be less likely to engage in sex if they know accidentally making a baby will sentence them to at least an 18-year commitment. To an extent, pro-birthers are anti-sex or pro-abstinence, seeing it as something people should be punished for, particularly women. Point 3. Because fetuses aren't being aborted, more people are being born, meaning the chance that one of them will become a doctor or scientist will increase. That's if you believe that more people means more chances that we'll get a huge success out of one of them. Point 4. Moral fiber. There's a belief that if people take additional steps to not get pregnant and not jump at the idea of aborting their problems away, they'll be well-adjusted adults. Basically, if you have to be responsible for your actions, you'll make better choices. Point 5. Like most people who advocate for jail time for women who get abortions, they tend to also be in favor of prison, slave labor. Many big companies take advantage of this, pushing bills and laws that punish poor people so they're more likely to either be punished or resort to crime, thus filling up the prisons and providing them with more free, cheap labor. Point 6. Religion. There are people who believe our problems today are stemming from a lack of religion in our society. There's a correlation, because back when houses were affordable and the world wasn't on fire, for example, religion was much more commonplace. Nowadays, the rich are richer and poor are poorer, and there are natural disasters everywhere, and religion is on a decline. They believe allowing abortions is angering God. There are probably some other reasons, but I'll leave it at that. Banning abortion in a country without universal health care, social supports for new mothers, accessible education and vocational training is beyond cruel and very destructive to society as a whole. The pro-life arguments have absolutely no merit unless all lives, born lives, refugee lives, immigrant lives, non-white, non-wealthy, non-fits into a special box gendered lives, actual breathing human beings, matter. Pro-life people have no concerns for beings that actually draw breath. That is detrimental and crippling to society as a whole. It wouldn't. It's religious morality-related reasons pushing against it. There aren't really many good arguments for it to be illegal. In my opinion, it's the kind of thing that everyone has the right to decide about for themselves, but not the right to decide for others. So it should never be regulated by the government. Conservatives will argue that there is some sort of killing going on, but they kind of misunderstand the point and what abortion actually entails. It's a medical procedure for terminating a pregnancy. Conservatives act like you are pulling a 30-week fetus out and running it through with a spear. Sorry for that image, but I'm just making a point, lol. I think some people just think it's wrong and it's not about the impact on society. But I think the political perspective is all about control. The fact is, if you have enough money, you will always be able to procure a safe abortion. So making abortion illegal primarily, certainly not entirely, is about controlling the poor. Money equals education. This means that the less educated population will grow, and Republicans rely on them for votes. This is a widespread, historically useful tactic. Why do you think women used to not be allowed an education? It afforded men more control. Education is power. Why do you think this practice still goes on in certain other countries? They do it more blatantly, but it happens there in the US as well. I can't think of a single positive result from getting rid of abortion. It wouldn't. There is no benefit to bringing unwanted children into the world. The debate is a religious one. It's not based on facts or common sense. More poor people to rich people to exploit with low wages. I am pro-choice though. Having witnessed a loved one undergo an abortion, I can confirm that it is a very harsh experience that should never be taken lightly. It seems like people who want to ban abortions really don't care about abortions. They're just upset that women are gaining a little headway towards equality. And that goes against everything their religious books tell them about gender roles. No one actually cares about abortion itself. They just want women to go back to their biblical position of subservience and child raising. It's the same reason that family values voters hate gay people. It throws a wrench in their strange little worldview. It wouldn't have any positive effect on society. People who are against abortion believe that abortion literally kills babies. People who support abortion believe that choosing to terminate a pregnancy is a choice that all women should freely have no matter the circumstances. As their views are completely diametrically opposed, there's probably never going to be any kind of satisfactory conclusion to this debate. The reason why there is still such a major debate around abortion is that your line of thinking does not address the reason people are opposed to abortion. In order to illustrate this, I think it's helpful to change the issue to something you're probably on the other side of. Why do we have prison sentences that end for any crimes? Having committed a crime in the past is a really good indicator that you will commit a crime in the future. Why not just lock up all criminals at their first minor offense before they commit something more violent? Society would be a lot more peaceful. The answer is that the process of locking people up permanently is really inhumane. And the benefits to society aren't worth indefinitely locking people up for shoplifting. It doesn't matter that society would be better, because the way we're getting there is so brutally inhumane. When people are responding to you, "It's killing babies," they're making the short-form version of this argument. They believe that the societal benefits aren't worth killing babies.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.